Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Side Ploud with Pop.1 Podcast here with the episode 3. Got my boy Alex Valito with me.
What's up?
And we are going to go hard today. We are talking about the new PRB leaks, talking about the drama with the LA Dodgers Luffy. We got a couple things on Pokemon, anime, and all types of stuff with the TCG world. So you guys stay tuned, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Pop.1 Podcast. Okay. Alex.
Preston.
Episode 3, Pop.1 Podcast. What's
Numero
up?
tres.
Yes, we are here, dude. And I'm super excited for this episode
Me
like
too.
I was last week. But when I started editing last week's video, I realized that my camera was off focus the whole time and we were too deep to start it over. So we stayed committed to episode 2. And it was actually a good episode. People really liked it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, man. I sit back and I listen to these. Obviously, I'm editing them for like hours and stuff, and I know the whole thing like the back of my hand. But it's always good to throw it in on the car on the way to a job or something and really get into it.
Isn't it weird
move your
hearing
mic
yourself
down
talk?
just a little bit? What's up? Is it weird?
Hearing yourself talk. Like I find that super weird with listening to these podcasts. Just hearing myself talk all the time. It's not something I'm used to. Doing this has definitely forced me to become comfortable with hearing myself talk, which is something in the past I've never really been comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, you know my previous background,
Yeah.
music artist and stuff like that. I've been in a studio since I was like 14 years old, so it was weird when I started doing it for sure. But now it's just something that I really love doing, and I get into it, man. So we got a nice show tonight, and we're gonna be talking about One Piece. Obviously, One Piece has been going crazy on the TikTok, and they've really been liking our little shorts that we're posting about this podcast. So we're going to be talking about One Piece.
Yeah.
You like One Piece, Alex?
I am enjoying it more than I thought I would. The
Yeah.
anime and the card game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about that last time. You're on the anime and stuff. Before we get started, though, let's open up some packs. It won't be One Piece pack, but we can open up some. We like to open packs in our daily ventures. We open packs on TikTok. We do all types of stuff on TikTok. So we decided that for this segment, we're gonna open up some prismatic evolution. This is the reason that Pokemon is what it is, and in today's era. So me and Alex, I got 6 packs here, and so after our breaks today, our beautiful dueling guard ads, we'll be ripping some packs. So let's see if we can go crazy. So let's see, you can get that PSA 2. I guess I'll rip mine. We'll do a quick. We'll do quick rips, and then yeah, I guess you can just put yours in your camera. Let me do mine first. I won't be able to see, so I won't be able to see if we're going crazy until after. So I'll just do this. I'll move the packs back. I know my audio is kind of weird right now, and maybe you guys can see this. I don't know. I'm just making sure I don't have like some crazy god pack or something like that. Nothing wild yet. Here's our first reverse, and then I got a Shaman, and I got a Roaring Moon. Terrible. That's a bad hit. So it's your turn.
Well, let's see. I don't know if I got
I
the
can
right
see
angle.
yours. I can see yours. So I
Yeah.
can kind of tell you got a dog. I can't. Let's see. Larvitar, Baneri, Professor. One of them a skateboard. Professor, Shaman, Dragapult guy, Poffin, and Dusclops. Bad pull.
Womp, womp.
But anyways, back to the. Oh, I appreciate the card too. Alex pulled a nice Yanma on TikTok.
On live.
Yeah, live TikTok the other day. Threw that my way for my master set. We'll talk about the master set later. I feel like you guys would be really interested in that one. Okay. PRB, dude. We talked about this in the last episode, and we actually made a TikTok asking people what they were most excited about for the release. And dude, this morning we got a lot of news. You guys are hearing it live here at the Pop.1 Podcast. We got a lot of news, and I'm gonna kind of turn my head a little bit because I got it all pulled up here. And can you see this kind of? Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. The Gold Dawn, dude. And
Sick.
like, I know you guys can't see what we're seeing, but I'm going to just go over it. A bunch of Gold Dawn. If you're familiar with PRB1, they have a bunch of Gold Dawn. But, you know, we like the Don. That's cool and all. But these reprints are really what we're after. Guys, 5-drop Sabo, 10-drop Ace, 7 Beard, 8-cost Silver's Rayleigh, 6-cost Luffy from EBO2. It just came out and it's already getting a reprint. We have Blocker Sanji, 3-cost Tashigi, Cavendish from EBO1. That was a main one that everybody was really hype about. Let's see. Bon Clay, baby. Woo!
I just bought that car too.
Yeah. Hey, man. It was one of those things. We all knew that it was going to happen, but they were teasing us pretty hard. But we did get the new 10 cost Teach. Just came out. He's getting a reprint. He was a reprint in other things, I think, too. 9-cost Zoro, Finger Pistol, Carrot, Nojiko for the Nami players. That was just a common that was an OPO2, and it's really good with that Nami deck, and people are having trouble finding it. It actually got bought out a few times. Let's see, 2-cost Rosanate, which I swear that he got reprinted in PRB1, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then the Altarts, man. I am so happy. As an Enel player, a die-hard Enel player since OPO5, the 0 cost has an Altart. Have you met the wrath of the 0 cost yet?
I have actually against you.
Yeah. It's a good card, man. I remember, oh yeah, I do remember the first time you're like, wait, it does what? And I'm like, yes, dude. Yeah, read it. I tell them all. Go ahead and read it good.
I'm realizing how to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Reading a bunch of cards.
Yeah, that's how it's going. 3-cost Purple Zoro, Zoro Juro, I think. A new alt for 2-cost Rosanate. Maybe he wasn't in PRB1. I'm not sure. 9-cost Green Shanks, 4-cost Chopper from OPO9. Usahachi, Jesus Burgess. I mean, come on, man. So many good things.
So many.
It's really, really good stuff. A bunch of things, different alts. Lucky Roo, Bonnie.
New manga, right?
Yes, the manga this time is in fact another Straw Hat, which is one thing that we've all, you want all the Straw Hats. My boy Sanji made the cut, dude. And it feels good, man, because Sanji is one of my favorite characters in One Piece. And let me see if I can pull up the manga here and just get me a good look at it. As we're recording, they're releasing more. Gum Gum Giant. Alt art. This era begins. Teach the Rebecca SP. Dude, look at the label on that.
That's sick.
Oh my! We might have to put some pictures up for this podcast, guys, because this is just great. I should have screen recorded this, like on the Discord and everything. Like, yeah, you guys can join the Pop.1 Discord, by the way.
Yeah, we have a whole Discord.
Yes, we do have a Discord server. We will put it in the description. Yep, my boy Sanji, 9-cost Sanji.
I'm so excited for that.
Are you gonna get it and put it in your deck?
I am. I've been known to spend some money in cardboard.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Me, I always live by we don't play with them, we sell them, and they get really expensive. But dude, yeah, PRB, man. Now it brings the question though. Scalpers, man. Is this gonna be the set that is kind of like PRB1? In PRB1, it was like we kind of thought it was like EBO1. First wave of booster boxes, maybe a second wave of booster boxes, maybe a third, but all the shops aren't going to get it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of shops will get that first wave, but then they'll be too late for the second and third wave. You know what I mean? Is it going to be like that? Or are they going to do what they did with PRB1 where out of nowhere they just drop blister packs and then like you're going to Walmart and you're seeing sleeves and sleeves of PRB1 and you're like, oh, One Piece doing it right, because they still haven't done EB like that. EBO2 has not still. We thought maybe they would like sneak it in there. We have not seen blister packs of EBO2, and which is fine. GP Luffy as of now, and maybe like some Vegapunk stuff. The Enel card. There's a few things in EBO2, really good cards, but we won't, I think, see like the stupid crazy full power of that set until down the road. and then it'll be super hard to find everything and blah. But they're printing a lot from EBO2 in PRB1, and it's just like, what is going on? It's like they're listening, huh?
It does seem Bandai, coming from someone from a card game where they don't listen to. It
Yeah,
does appear that Bandai is making it a point to listen to their player
yeah.
base, which is a very important thing, I might add.
I mean, you would think it's the most important,
You
right?
would think. And given Bandai's history, because Bandai does have a history of TCGs coming out existing for about 2 to 3 years, which One Piece is at the 3-year mark, and then them just scrapping the IP altogether.
Yeah.
That's not happening with One Piece. It's
Mm-mm.
only getting bigger.
I honestly see this going. I mean, I see the game at least going for 2 years. But there was a time where I was like, I don't know how long it's going to be. I see the game at least like doubling its time that it's already been in the game, and that's great. That is awesome. It's just these reprint sets. So me and you have
A lot of experience.
we have experience with reprint sets. You know what I mean? And it wasn't good. Now I will say that the first PRB fixed a lot of issues because of a lot of meta was structure deck cards that you could only get from structure decks. Very hard to find cards from like OPO1, OPO2 sets to this day that are pretty expensive packs and stuff like that. So it's a good thing in my opinion, but it will cause a market fluctuation for a little while. There's a lot of cards in here.
Well, one thing Bandai has an advantage of that other card games don't is the manga rares, the different rarities just altogether, the old arts.
Yes.
And it does appear from a new player coming into this game that a lot of cards just have a bunch of alternate arts. And that allows for, the investor side of things, for the people that like to collect. It keeps their cards valuable. And for players that are trying to play, they're keeping these meta staples not super expensive.
Yeah. You can, for example, man, there is a deck now that is a terrible deck. It's been terrible for its whole life. It's the Bello Betty from
Betty.
OPO5. Fun fact, we had 5 Bello Betty players at locals this Thursday over at Board Game Pellers. Shout them out. Really cool shop. Even the live, we streamed the whole locals live, and everybody's like, yo, is this the only deck in the room? And I was like, damn near, dude. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people playing it. So, but going back to it, it was very bad. But this game, there's so much that you can do with just cooking a leader. You know what I mean? Like just watching a leader and watching support that comes out. And then it's like, boom, all these super expensive decks they're being beat by a deck that I literally just went through a few bulk boxes and built. It's literally worth maybe $5.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing with the game. Now, can I alt art it and do all that and make it expensive and stuff like that? Yeah, sure, of course. But the game is just I think the game is balanced. That's basically what I'm getting to. I think there is a pretty decent balance going on right now, man. And I don't think PRB is going to affect the game. Like, it might affect like people that backpack vend or like shops, maybe just a little bit, but they're going to sell the product. Like, PRB is going to be a scalp product for sure. But I hope Bandai is kind of ready for that and they just like boom, 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 boom. I want Bon Clay to be a $2 card.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, you just bought it, you know what I mean? But I want that card. It does not need to be to numbers that we've seen in the past. It just doesn't need to be that.
I want that too for the community. I don't want like in other card games. I don't want this game to price people out.
Yeah. And dude, they're doing fine. They're doing fine in my opinion. And I don't think there's much they can do about it. And there's not much they can do about that LA Dodgers Luffy card.
That's kind of cool, actually, in my opinion.
It's cool, and I think it's the leader. Yeah, it's the leader from EBO2, the one Brian Ha plays. And I'm seeing videos constantly of people, and this is all over TikTok this morning. People standing outside of the gates or whatever to get into the game, like holding signs up saying, "Paying this much for this card, doing this for this card." You got videos of just people with straight up cash, like buying every card that they can. And it really is one of those things to where, you're already like getting Target pissed off and Walmart pissed off and Books a Million and all these places, like they're all angry, so they have to implement these rules. They have to hire security, blah blah blah. And then it's like at a baseball game where One Piece is it's just I don't know. In my opinion, they probably shouldn't have give out like a One Piece card game card. Like there's like T-shirts that they could have done, all types of stuff. And now for collectors like as myself and a lot of people that were just not possibly able to get this card, they're behind a paywall of $450 to $500, and this is all last recent sales. You know what I mean? So like it's happening right now. Will the card stay like this or
I think it'll go up, and I'm a completely disagree with you there. I think that's very cool to have these alternate arts that come in that are exclusive to these different things. It keeps people interested in the game. It's great publicity for the game. It's going to get people to start playing the game. You'll start driving them to our TikToks to see and our YouTube videos to see like what's One Piece all about. And although I hear you where you say the scalpers are getting this card, but it's not like this card doesn't exist in other avenues
and
for
that
players
is
to
true.
get.
It is
You
a
can
special variant. It's not like this is the card and it's not
yeah,
like you need it to play, you know. It's basically just a collector's item and that's
yeah.
fair. I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, if it was an exclusive and it was like, hey, now this is a meta exclusive card, which has happened in other card games in the past. Yu-Gi-Oh specifically had a specific card that you only get if you won the entire YCS tournament. That's not fair. That's making a card thousands of dollars that you have to play to be good at the game.
Yeah.
One Piece isn't doing that. They're just making an alternate art exclusive, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah, yeah, and that's right. It's just one of those things. The community's pretty salty about it. I mean, I'm not, you know, I wish the people that did get the card like at the event would just take it as like a souvenir and hold it down for themselves or whatever, you
They're
know what I
not.
mean? But it's just and now we're looking at I think the most part that I'm just like down about is the price point of it. It's just like here we go again, you know. It's the same thing with the Dawn from One Piece Day in Dallas. You know, people were buying them for $50 or whatever, you know, at the
Right.
event and stuff. I still have mine, actually graded
But
mine.
that's the exclusivity of some of these alternate arts. That's what keeps this game affordable.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And it's just it's pretty cool, man. It's cool and it's weird. It's just one of those things that I wonder how many times One Piece is gonna do like these just one shot exclusive promo cards. And for all the promo collectors out there, like I need to hear what they think about this because,
yeah,
like, dude, that these are getting crazy, man. I mean,
maybe
yeah, go ahead.
maybe next time we need to actually fly out there and
Well, I hit a few of my friends up actually, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to go see a free baseball game? Like, you just have to get me this card, man. That's it." But nobody was in town during that time. It was actually because of Fourth of July weekend. Like, all my friends were like with their family and stuff and everything. So it was just, but it would have been a good time to go see a baseball game, you know. Like, just kidding. No, a few of our buddies got some though, and shout out to them. They're going to be sending them off to PSA, I believe, and getting some cool grades. So it's super exciting to see your homies get something good like that. But is it something that's super healthy whenever the scalping situation is just all over the place, dude? I don't know, man. I'm just kind of weird about it, and I want. It's really the price point thing, but I want to see where it's gonna go. And will this potentially be a $2,000 card? You know what I mean? Like, if you really think about what it is, what's going on in baseball right now. Speaking of, Shohei Ohtani actually got the art that's on the card. They created a statue for him only, so he owns this crazy treasure that One Piece has given him as a gift. And man, I want to know what that's all about. I want to know the price on that guy.
same.
It's pretty crazy. But, you know, PRB coming out, a lot of stuff. The Luffy card coming out, and then we have the One Piece, or yeah, the Bandai Fest coming up in September. And I think in that format, we're going to be more in the OP12.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of those cards are actually getting shouted out recently. What are we in, OP11 now?
Yeah, we're in OP11. I'm
Yeah,
excited to build a new Zoro deck coming out.
Yeah,
Get my
tell me about it.
Cavendishes.
Tell me about that Zoro deck.
Yeah, that deck is crazy good.
I haven't really looked at it. What is it?
It does stuff.
Oh, you haven't like so okay. It's one of those, you're gonna be like me, dude. I do not look at cards and literally until I open the box. And I wish that I would stop doing that
Right.
because like all my friends are like 2 sets ahead, and they're paying attention to everything. When I try to, you know what I mean. But life is life, and sometimes you can't just like sit back and memorize. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, I do know that that's one of the good ones in the set. But I gotta do a little bit more research to even remember it.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about being a new player in this game and learn all these different things is you
Yeah.
have to kind of keep up. And I do think it's going to get easier as new sets come out because it's easier to keep up with new stuff versus looking at the past. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. But I'm a meta sheep, right? I'll always play the best deck, and if Zoro's going to be the best deck, I'm going to play Zoro.
The thing about best deck in One Piece, like it's kind of just an opinion, man.
Yeah.
Like there are like, dude, they balance the game out pretty well. Sometimes there's one leader that's just dominating the world, and that happens. But sometimes there's about 7 or 8 leaders, and I like those formats. You know what I mean? To
I do
where it's
too.
just like everybody's playing something different. It's just a great time, but. You know, we will see how that goes, and we'll see how a lot of these games go because you know there's with all these reprints and everything that are about to come out, we're gonna have a big market shift and all that stuff, and it makes you wonder like how the price of the current cards are gonna be and what the price of these new cards are gonna be. Like whenever PRB dropped, like first time when they dropped these alt arts, we thought that this set was about to be so mass reprinted that none of them were gonna be like worth anything. Like we were like, oh, 9 cost Yamato got reprinted, she got a new alt art, everything's gonna tank, blah blah blah. That card was the most expensive card in the set, and it was like peaking at I wanting to say like 150 to like $200 at one time. It might be more, but like the categories and everything, all the yellow cards and all that stuff, like really held value the whole time, and it was just ugh. So we'll see how it goes with this next one, man. But I'm excited for PRB.
Me too.
I'm hoping that one day I'll see that LA Dodgers Luffy.
We'll have some boys come around and show us
I'll let them.
their
They'll let
coffee.
me hold it in my hand for
Yeah.
a few seconds.
Just for a few seconds, no
Yeah.
longer.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break and
Hell
then
yeah.
we'll talk about the world of Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're going to interrupt this episode and tell you about our sponsors. Yes, our sponsors over at Dueling Guard. These guys definitely have everything you need for your TCG journey. Go ahead and head on down to duelingguard.com. Check out their deck boxes, their playmats, their binders, their anime art cards. They have it all, and I swear I love this stuff. I back it all the way. I personally use binders and deck boxes from Dueling Guards for all of my TCG play. When I'm going to bigger tournaments, or even if I'm going to smaller tournaments, they have everything I need to be comfortable in my competitive scene. I love the size of their deck boxes. They fit perfectly in my book bag without any type of clutter. You know what I mean? When you have them big deck boxes and it's just so cluttery in your book bag, it makes your book bag kind of get deformed after a little while. These are great for that because they're a nice slim fit. They also have so many different sizes of deck boxes. So if you don't like the size of one of their deck boxes, I'm sure they'll have something to fit your certain criteria whenever you're going to these big events. Their playmats are super high quality. I really enjoy playing on them, and their binders are peak. They're side loading, they zip up, they're just really good binders all in all, and they fit perfectly in your book bag. They also have different accessories like playmat holders and different bags that you can take out. I'm telling you now, you guys are definitely going to want to support Dueling Guard, man. They are very awesome in what they do. So go to duelingguard.com, use code Pop.1 at checkout. You guys get a discount. It helps us out a lot. We really enjoy having Dueling Guard around, and we thank them so much for what they do for the community and for Pop.1 podcast. All right, let's get back to the show.
I can't
Get
catch.
it? I probably threw that kind of weird. All right, yeah. Oh yeah, we're looking for like evolutions, like SIRs.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I'm learning.
All right. Sorry for the hitting all the audio and stuff. Okay, we got cards. We're doing it. We're opening Pokemon. I can't see nothing. Did I get the reverse yet? Nope. Oh, Pokeball. Crispin. And then we got a Professor's Research and a Flareon EX. It's not the Flareon EX that we want, but still cool.
It's something.
Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with that. See, I can call yours out, kinda. Can't. Let's see.
Can you see?
Yeah, I think I forgot his name. Let's see. Larva Pupitar. Bronzong. I don't know. Lady.
I'm gonna get roasted for how we say.
Slow King. Donut. Lit Leo maybe. I don't know. Dunsparce. And Espeon. Not the one though. That's a bad pull. Very bad.
I'm opening bad. I shouldn't have any more packs.
All right. Speaking of Pokemon, man, look, me and you have been like really dabbling into the Pokemon lately. I've been doing it for a long time. Love Pokemon to death, and I've played all the games since it came out. We've interviewed a lot of Pokemon players. We went to the Pokemon Nationals in New Orleans. We've done a lot of stuff, and one thing that I'm very passionate about, and not in a competitive scene, just as a me thing, you know what I mean? I like to sit back and I like to play these Pokemon games, dude. I have walked through all of them, completed them all the way. I've completed maybe one or two like Pokedex or whatever, but like that's not the main thing to me. I like to shiny hunt and do stuff like that. I like to just explore the world and really train up Pokemon, but I don't compete with them. I just like playing the games, you know. They're
Right.
very relaxing. And Pokemon ZA is coming out pretty soon, and I want to say that it is a game that I'm super excited about. When it first got released, though, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now, these Legend games are really cool. They already made one before. It was called Pokemon Legends Arceus,
Yep.
and it was set in the Sinnoh region, which I think they called it something else. God, it's been a while since I played that game.
It's like a time travel back in the past.
Yeah, you go back in time, and it's the land of. That's gonna kill me. But anyways, it's Sinnoh back in like ancient Japanese time type of thing, and it shows different variants of the Pokemon. Kind of gives you the history of Sinnoh and how Pokemon they were, trying to figure out how the whole Pokemon thing, basically, and it was a really cool thing. I don't think I played it all the way, but it was still a cool game and a cool experience, but it wasn't a mainline game. I'm super into the mainline games, and I get excited when new games get announced, but ZA, it's the thing about the Pokemon games is people have been waiting for that Gen 5 remake,
Yeah.
the black and white era, which was not the best when it came out. It actually got a lot of backlash when it came out. A lot of people didn't like it, but the fans really liked it. And it was just a game that was hard to get new people into. But the current playing group and the current people into Pokemon were like, oh, this is what we wanted. This is nice. A great backstory, kind of dark backstory, just really cool Pokemon. And how every generation's based in a different part of our actual world. This was like the American generation. So it was really cool to see different Pokemon that was kind of based around, our area of the world and stuff like that. But this one is actually based in Gen 6, which is man, I'm having trouble remembering these areas. But it's in one special part of Gen 6, which is the city, Luminos City, I believe. And it's like, are they gonna make this city super big? Like, you know what I mean? Because in the games it was really big, and in the whole lore of Pokemon, the city's apparently big, pretty big. But it's just like, why couldn't you guys just give us like this as like a Gen 6 remake? Like, okay, you skip Gen 5, that's fine. Just give us the Gen 6 quote unquote remake and call it the Legends game or whatever, and then we'll see how it goes. Now it's only based in the city, but it is a Legends game, so the starters are actually pretty cool. You get, I'm wanting to say, Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig, which they did put a Gen 5 starter in there, but Mega Evolutions are being really hyped up right now in the TCG and in this game, and that is one thing that the fans have been super, super vocal about. Bring us back Mega Evolutions. Well, that was introduced in Gen 6. We're in Gen 6 territory. Mega Evolutions are definitely a thing. That was the whole thing. You know what I mean? There's always a gimmick in the Pokemon games. Well, the Mega Evolutions were the gimmicks in Gen 6. And so we're finally going to get Mega Evolutions of Pokemon that, we haven't seen before. And I'm super excited about that. Have you ever played the games or anything like that?
So my history with Pokemon is Gen 1, Gen 2. Past that, not much else, right? But I will say, the Arceus time in the past game, I had a friend that would shiny hunt
Mm-hmm.
nonstop in that game. So I would go over to his house and we would just chill, and he would be playing Pokemon on his TV. I'm like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm just shiny hunting."
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a way to like kind of pass time,
yeah.
like because you don't have to be that locked in, you know.
And I didn't know what Mega Evolution was until this game got announced, and I kind of looked into that, and it seems really cool. It's because some classic Pokemons are getting Evolutions. I was seeing.
The Mega Evolutions, they would post like when Charizard X and Y got announced, and you're like, yo, why is Charizard getting? They didn't say anything about Mega Evolutions. They were just showing evolutions of like Charizard. It's like, oh, why are you giving us a evolution of Charizard? What are you doing? There's another one. Why are you evolving Mewtwo? What are you guys doing? Like people were angry when they saw that because you had the Mewtwo X and Y, you had Charizard X and Y, Venusaur Mega Evolution, Blastoise Mega Evolution. Like you had all these Pokemon that out of nowhere had these just had evolutions, and then they announced these are Mega Evolutions. These are forms that you can take during battle to give your Pokemon a boost. They don't evolve into this. You have to have the device to do it. It's just boosting their power. And everybody's like, dude, that is sick. Like, that is awesome. And that's the thing with Mega Evolution. So everybody's super hype to see what they bring with Pokemon Legends ZA, including myself, man. I am very very hype about that, and I'm hype about the new TCG too.
Hmm.
And it's called Mega Evolution, and we got a trailer for that, and you guys go check it out. I'm sure Pokemon YouTube or whatever.
Mega
It's
Evolutions TCG.
Yeah, just type in Pokemon Mega Evolutions TCG, and they introduced a lot of the cool cards. I don't play Pokemon, so like I didn't really look at the cards, to see if they were broken or anything like that.
Yeah, but it's so easy to play.
It is. And I probably will read the cards to see how broken everything is nowadays because I do play Pokemon Pocket and stuff. So I have been paying attention to those, and that does like help you kind of keep up with how to play Pokemon. Different kind of Pokemon game, but it's a very easy one. But they introduced 3 illustration rares in the trailer: the Bulbasaur, Vulpix, and Inteleon. And I'm super excited about this card. That Bulbasaur is going to be like an expensive card to get, so I hope that I get to pull it. But me and Lucy have been, completing a master set of all the illustration rares, not this special illustration rares, just all the regular illustration rares. And dude, we are
Just as a
getting,
whole.
yeah, we're getting very close. I buy every time I see one that I don't have, like in that moment, I just have to, pick it up or trade for it or something like that.
Yeah, I
And
just pulled one and gave it to you.
yeah, you did. Shout you out. Shout out the opening packs on the TikTok live. Going crazy. But with Pokemon, I think we're about to get another big boost of content,
Yep.
with the scalping thing going on. Yes, it's a very bad thing. Don't get me wrong. You're not able to buy Pokemon product. It sucks. I
Which
know.
is a weird concept, right? It's You have all these people that are buying Pokemon, so they have to stop selling Pokemon. And it's to the point now where shops aren't getting the product that they need. These actual scalpers are getting the product before the shops. It's an
Mhm.
insane situation to me. Um, and from what I'm seeing from a lot of different videos talking to local shop owners, they're saying that it's just a way for distributors to make more money. So now shops have to buy secondhand market. So there's like a whole new market, a whole new middleman now. Distributors sell to these scalpers, and now these store owners have to buy from the scalpers and then sell the markup from the markup.
Oh yeah. And not only that, distributors for mainline stores, Targets, Walmarts, uh, what's the one from all the ones, even Sam's, all those people, they are creating their own scalping companies. So MJ Holdings, is the main line distributor for Walmart, actually had, I forgot the name of it. It's probably good that I don't want them to come after me or anything like that, but they actually own another company called something else, and they, you can sell on Walmart.com. They sell on Walmart.com their product that they're distributing for the market price are well above market price, $300-$400 for something that's $50, on the shelf. And they are the distributors. So I get what you're saying about that. It's terrible, but Pokemon is still completely selling out, which I'm not saying none of it's a good thing. We over here do not like it. We're collectors, we're players, and we're here for the players and communities. Now, with that being said, though, Pokemon is still selling out, which means Pokemon's making a lot of money. When Pokemon makes a lot of money, they put a lot of cool stuff out, and it shows that they're going, I think, with this other boom, just like when, you can see even in their production and their animes and their video games and the quality in their cards, like everything's kind of, looking pretty good. Everything feels good. And when they're making a lot of money, I think they're going to be bringing out a lot of cool more stuff. Right now they're putting out, nice little animated shorts on YouTube and stuff. They're really getting back into the video game scene, the mobile video game scene. The TCG is it seems like it's healthy, alive, and well, probably better than it ever will be. We saw it firsthand at the NAIC. There is so much stuff with Pokemon that we're sitting here talking about. I think One Piece has another 3 years. Blah blah blah. I think Pokemon is legit going to be that one company that lives forever, dude. Like, I don't even think they could do anything so harsh to reality besides, actual animal abuse
Well,
to be stopped.
They can, right? It's not an impossibility.
Do you think that it'll be before 20 years from now?
I don't think so. No, absolutely not.
That's
I think 20 years is a crazy number. With that being said, however, a lot of companies, when the things are going really well and they're the only of that company, like you don't have multiple Pokemon. Madden is a great example, right? Madden football. Madden is the exclusive to the NFL rights. And what's happened? Well, the game quality has been just trash for just so many years.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point where Madden's about to lose the exclusivity rights towards having the NFL. Well, that's a possibility. That's not set in stone.
Well, that's cool, actually, because we get other games.
Yeah. But Pokemon, that's never going to happen. But Pokemon, it seems that they've taken note that they have to keep the product good. Otherwise, people will stop buying the product.
Yeah, and
they're doing it the right way, in my opinion.
Well, me personally, I think Prismatic Evolutions is a bad product.
Really?
Yes, I do. The pull rates are abysmal, okay? I don't scalp Pokemon, okay? I don't, I collect, when I open packs, when these packs that we're opening, these are my personal cards. We're going to be probably putting, this will probably go on a binder or it'll go to a trade to another card that I need type of thing. The pull rates are bad. The amount of money that I have spent on this to, chase these cards is very bad, dude. Me and Lucy have opened probably about 6 or 7 ETBs and probably about 10 booster bundles, dude, and we haven't even seen an SIR, which is unlucky, but it just...
Then it begs the question, why is scalping still being so successful?
Because the pull rates are so low that this Umbreon card is like over $1,000. And so, which in the One Piece world, we've been there, done that. But Pokemon's been there, done that too. And the thing with Pokemon is it has longevity.
Yeah.
You can never play a Pokemon card. Nobody could ever play the TCG. I honestly believe that Pokemon itself, the IP, could run solely on the collector's avenue. You know what I mean? I don't think... that they would, if all the players just stopped playing today, I think Pokemon would figure it out, which sucks to say, but they have definitely been overrun by the collectors side of everything.
Pokemon's the only trading card game that can do that 100%.
Yeah, and so the thing about that is, like, you buy a pack today, well, in 4 to 5 years, it's definitely, like, indefinitely gone up in value. Like, you definitely will plus. A main set or a special set pack, yes, probably 100% you're going to see a plus in that. And everybody knows that now. It's not a special thing. I wish I knew that during Sun and Moon era. Ultra Prism. Lost Thunder. These sets that were just sitting on the shelf for years and years. And then all of a sudden, boom, new gen comes out. They stop making these packs. Why not just go buy the Walmart out and hold them down for another year? Next thing you know, you have a booster box, or you have booster packs that are like $15, $20 a piece. You go to your LGS, they have an old Lost Under Ultra Prism box or whatever in that time, and it's just been sitting on the shelf. And they mark it down to $90 or whatever just to get it out of the store. Boom, you have yourself almost $1,000 booster box. And that's common.
Mm-hmm.
Fusion Strike. If you look at Fusion Strike, when we started Pop.1 podcast, absolute worst set in the world to open. I think it's still to this date the most like common, like regular play. It's a playable set. Don't get me wrong, but the most cards printed into one set. And to pull the alt arts and all that stuff is very hard. There wasn't illustration rares like there are in these sets. It was alt art or VMAX bust. You know what I mean? And now, through the roof. Why? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? It's just how it is. And it can be the worst Pokemon set in the world, dude. And it's going to be worth money one day. And that's just what they all see. And it just goes back to saying that you know, you got Pokemon, like I said, a booster box will hold value when it drops and everything, and then go down a little bit, but then all of a sudden just go up after a couple years of holding. And then you got Yu-Gi-Oh sets that come out
Less than what they get distributed.
out today,
Yeah.
and I just paid $80, $90 at my LGS, but I go to TCG Player and they're $45.
Yes.
One Piece is in the same bracket with the Pokemon. Booster box comes out, goes up a little bit, dip down. After we don't see them in the shops no more, they're up forever. These games got to figure something out, I think. And with that being said, you know, we haven't talked a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! In this podcast. That's bad, dude. That is bad. What do you think about that?
It's disheartening, right?
Yeah.
This most recent set, it's such a shame. I don't even know the name of it. I've never not been caught up to Yu-Gi-Oh! And here I am. I do know.
You almost made me spit my water out, dude.
What I will say though is, like, I am a Vanquish Soul enjoyer, and this card got insane support for Vanquish Soul. However, it does something to the game that, you know, I've spoken about in great detail. It's the power creep. The power creep just happens too much too fast. Now we're at the point where in this card game, when you go turn 0, you get to do full combo on your opponent's turn. Turn 0 is where your opponent goes first and you're going second, and you're playing like a full combo on your opponent's first turn. That's just toxic, dude. That's just toxic.
It is. It's bad. Dude, you know, and look, man, I'm just here to.
Some people love it. Like, it is chess versus checkers.
That's fair.
Other card games are not as complicated as Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
It's just point blank period. No other card game is going to be as complicated as Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic's a close second because Magic can be extremely complicated. And it can also be extremely fast, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! However, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just getting to the point where the entry is so difficult that they're losing more players than they're gaining.
Yeah.
It's like a bucket of water where you have a bunch of holes in it and you're trying to fill it up with some more water. Like, yeah, you're getting some more in, but you're getting way less in than you're getting out.
Yeah, man. So you're saying a power creep deal, mind you, I haven't paid attention to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Set in a few times. So is it like affecting like the meta that there was, like the Ryzul and the Malice and all that stuff?
So what's about to happen? I can tell you what's about to happen. So we're about to get a ban list that bans or makes Malice and Ryzul so unplayable it's not even funny.
I've seen that 100 times.
Yeah. I can tell you that's exactly what's going to happen in this next ban list. And they want these new decks: Lunalight, Vanquish Soul, Dragon Tail.
Which VS is not new.
It's not, but the fact that it's a meta deck.
When it came out, I did notice that they did put a lot. Like, they really wanted that archetype to go to the moon, and it did for a little while. It was played for a little while.
I took it to Nats.
Yeah.
But now it's like the best deck in the room, and that's, you know, that's cool to me. Someone who enjoyed that deck.
Yeah.
But the way that they made it that good is they're making it to where you have to play in your opponent's going first turn. And we're not talking hand traps, we're talking in archetype hand traps.
Are we going to a tier 0, you think, or?
So that's just it. It's not a tier 0 because other decks can do it too.
Okay.
So when Tier Limits was out, there was this card Tier Limits Happiness. When your opponent's actions effect, you can summon it and you can full combo on your opponent's turn. It's pretty much the same thing, but you have 3 different decks that can do that. So it's not tier 0, which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But it power creeps so much so fast that it's insane.
And we don't know what's going to happen with the ban list. Yeah.
Exactly. I took Blue Ice in my most recent locals. I sold all my cards. So I borrowed a friend's deck. And Blue Eyes, like 3 months ago, it wasn't the best deck, but it was a good deck. And just in 3 months from that deck becoming good and people spending hundreds of dollars into the deck because you needed specific cards that were expensive. I'm not saying this deck's unplayable, but you're not topping anything with it.
That's fair.
And that's worse than set rotation.
Yeah. Yeah. When a deck's just like, you can't be your best with the deck. And I get it, and then that's when it falls to play, what you're having fun with. But these bigger decks that are just so insane, just you can't really have fun with it. It gets annoying. It's like with the games that we're into, even Pokemon, One Piece, all these stuff. It's like even if like you're playing against the best deck, there's still a chance that you're gonna be able to it's more like, I guess, but like you said too, it's like a chess and checkers type of thing. Like some people are really into how Yu-Gi-Oh plays. You know what I mean? Some people are really into that. Some people think that One Piece and Pokemon are like baby games. You know what I mean? And they are in a sense compared to Yu-Gi-Oh.
In comparison, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just it's a pick your poison type of deal. If you're into Yu-Gi-Oh, man, play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
But if you're into the other stuff, play the other stuff. And but you can't. I don't know, man. I just hope that with the price, going back to the market discussion, with the price that we're seeing just alone with this newest Yu-Gi-Oh set, our LGS is about to go through another apocalypse like they did last year. But before you answer that, we can take a quick break and we'll talk a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh in our last segment.
Sounds good.
All right. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're going to interrupt this episode and tell you about our sponsors. Yes, our sponsors over at Dueling Guard. These guys definitely have everything you need for your TCG journey. Go ahead and head on down to duelingguard.com. Check out their deck boxes, their play mats, their binders, their anime art cards. They have it all, and I swear I love this stuff. I back it all the way. I personally use binders and deck boxes from Dueling Guards for all of my TCG play. When I'm going to bigger tournaments, or even if I'm going to smaller tournaments, they have everything I need to be comfortable in my competitive scene. I love the size of their deck boxes. They fit perfectly in my book bag without any type of clutter. You know what I mean? When you have them big deck boxes and it's just so cluttery in your book bag, it makes your book bag kind of get deformed after a little while. These are great for that because they're a nice slim fit. They also have so many different sizes of deck boxes. So if you don't like the size of one of their deck boxes, I'm sure they'll have something to fit your certain criteria whenever you're going to these big events. Their playmats are super high quality. I really enjoy playing on them, and their binders are peak. They're side loading, they zip up, they're just really good binders all in all, and they fit perfectly in your book bag. They also have different accessories like playmat holders and different bags that you can take out. I'm telling you now, you guys are definitely going to want to support Dueling Guard, man. They are very awesome in what they do. So go to duelingguard.com, use code POP1 at checkout. You guys get a discount. It helps us out a lot. We really enjoy having Dueling Guard around, and we thank them so much for what they do for the community and for Pop.1 podcast. All right, let's get back to the show.
Let's see if I can catch it this time.
All right, let's see it.
Oh, I got it.
A little feedback on the thing. All right, come on. Let's end the podcast off on the craziest pull ever. I'm not even going to look. I'm going to put my cards face down. You guys will see it before I do, and then I'll go through the pack. Wait, no, I'll find the first reverse. Okay, first reverse. Is this good? Maybe, maybe not. Is this good? We good? No, we're not.
All right. Can you see mine?
Yeah. All right. Eevee. Cool. Hippo. Baneri. Nothing. Okay. It looks like you got a Pokeball or a Master Ball rarity.
Bronzong.
Is it a Pokeball or a Master Ball?
That is... I can't tell.
And not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing, country boy. Didn't get it, man.
Wow, that sucked.
Doesn't that suck? And that was it.
How much we paid for that box?
Dude, we bought it from the scalpers, so it was like $500.
Stop. Don't do that thing.
Do what thing?
That thing. You know what you're doing.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Now, shout out Nerd's Nest. He had a few of them. We picked them up
Hell
out
yeah.
in Picayune.
Picayune, Mississippi.
Boy, Sean.
It was
going
so funny.
crazy.
He started doing some TikToks, and they're like, I had no idea you were here, and the algorithm showing me places that are hundreds of miles away. I love when that happens.
Oh, yeah, man. Sean's a cool dude,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad he's following his dream. That's what it's all about, dude. Following your dream, whatever you want to be and whatever you want to do, and let's do it. But before we left, speaking of shops, we were talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh deal, the great 2024 depression in Yu-Gi-Oh, dude.
Was it 2024?
It was like so we went to
23.
It might have been in 23 too. It might have been like
It started with tier, I'd say.
yeah, like tier right when Cashtira stuff started coming out.
Yeah, so tier, then Cashtira, then it was just tier, like,
and that stuff was out in
insane
Vegas in
format,
2023.
insane
Dude,
format.
it's been a while.
That's been 3 years, almost 4 years. Good
Mhm.
Lord. Come February next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh's been going on for. Yu-Gi-Oh's not in danger of dying, right?
Well, you know, sometimes I base like the times of my life on formats in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Now we get to base times in our life
I mean,
formats of
you
One
do
Piece.
it too. We all do it in a way. You like, hey, dude, you remember like during tier format when, or you remember like during DPE format whenever we were, you know, and it won't even be about Yu-Gi-Oh. It'd be like, you know, back during
It will just like trigger a memory.
during Print Kids format.
It'll trigger a memory, and then we will just remember something that was going on during the time. It's like, who was I dating during that time?
Yeah, and it's yeah.
It's funny stuff. It's good stuff.
It's
but,
been-
but that happens with every card game.
Yeah.
Right now, Magic has Final Fantasy. So people are gonna be like, "Hey, you remember Final Fantasy format?"
Yeah,
you know, we got
yeah.
Sonic coming out, and then we have Spider-Man coming out. People are gonna be
Magic the
remember
Gathering,
those.
good old card game.
The original cool art card game.
Yeah, you know, when I was like very young, one of my friends, and I gotta look this up to see like how valuable that's. He lost it all in Katrina, so you know he doesn't have it anymore. Which he had blank Magic cards, like they had no picture or text or whatever, and like I don't know if they were real though, because like we were very young, but like he was like these are real or whatever, and like there was a rule where you could like draw your own character and like write your own card text or whatever, and you could use it. I don't know if it was real or whatever. I know Pokemon had something like that. It was like
This sounds completely
birthday
fake.
Pikachu. No, I mean Pokemon had birthday Pikachu, which I think eventually was or the whole time was banned from like tournament play or whatever. But it was like it had a blank space in the name, and it was like so and so's Pikachu. So if it was your card, be Alex's Pikachu, and if it was your birthday, you could do some blessed stuff with the card. It might have been fake, you know. I'll look into it and we can follow up on the next episode to see, because like it's weird. It just popped up in my head whenever you saw that, and I've been meaning to do this for years, like look this up and see if it was something real. And if you guys know anything about that, let us know. Yeah, I don't know. But you know, going back to the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, it's like we had a time where I experienced a few local shops with a abundance of Yu-Gi-Oh product, and then me being knowledge on the Yu-Gi-Oh product knew why that product wasn't selling. You had Tactical Masters, you had Maze of Memory, you had I can't even think of the other ones, but it was like the side sets, the main sets, and all this stuff, and they were just sitting on the shelves, and it makes you wonder. Because we just talked about a booster box that legit came out yesterday. We're recording today, July 5th, Saturday. So it just came out like yesterday, day before yesterday. And I can legit go to tcgplayer.com and pick up this box for less than $50. When our local stores right now probably paid a little bit more than that to have it on the shelves, and now they have it marked for the retail that is you know, suggested or advertised by the distribution to sell for, and it's obviously not going to sell because the other alternative is to go online. Now, whenever the online shopping thing came around back in whatever, you know, when we were younger, it was a big thing. People were like, oh, this is going to change the world, it's going to blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, it did, and we feel that now. And I know a lot of people, you know, say just support your local shop and everything like that, but like it's not
What if you can't afford to?
exactly. And you're already playing a card game that is like you're spending too much money,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're playing competitively. You're spending way too much money than you should be on these cards. And so, what is enticing the player to say, hey, I need cards from this set, but I can go to these resale websites and, your eBay's, TCG Player, Macari's, all these stuff. You got the whatnots and everything. And just go buy it there versus buying it from this local game
So I
store.
can tell you exactly what it is. It's strategic on Konami's part, but it's also kind of predatory in my opinion. They will release these sets the week of, or in this case, a week before the giant tournament. So we have nationals this upcoming Saturday. So not today, but the following Saturday, July 12th, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
And a lot of these cards in the set, we were just talking about Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul Holy Sue it's an ultra rare, don't get me wrong, so it's not super hard to pull. But all the Lunan Light cards,
Mm-hmm.
this is a fantastic deck that's going to come in and dominate the meta. And a lot of people are going to be prepared for that deck, which gives players a competitive edge. So they release these sets this early before to incentivize players to buy sealed product versus singles, because that's really the only way you're going to get the cards. I can remember many, many events I would go to. I would buy a case, which is something I didn't want to do,
Mm-hmm.
to pull $330 cards because I knew at that event they weren't going to have that card because it was
Yeah.
in a foreign country, whatever the case may be. And I decided that it was worth my time to give myself the competitive edge to ensure I had this card early versus not.
Yeah, and I remember that. I remember scrambling back when we were super heavy into the team and stuff. You, Michael, Danny, everybody going out there, Devin. I need this card before we go. And there's oh so much that comes into an area like ours where we only have one or two shops, and they get, sometimes they only get like half a case of certain things especially around that time. Now I think we can get Yu-Gi-Oh very easily. But back whenever it was like super competitive, it was like, hey, I need this card because it's the best card in the room, and vendors are not going to have it. So let's figure it out. And dude, I mean, sometimes I'd have to go on TCG Player and like literally drop like 50, $60 to make sure everybody had these cards. And it was just like, I mean, per card, and then sometimes it'd be like 100, blah, blah, blah. Tempai, for example, that was like a deck that, I remember like 3 of the team needed at one time, and like I just picked it all up, and I was just like, dude, this sucks. And then boom,
Yeah.
it's banned, and
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, okay, well, we'll try again next time. Now I'm literally have a pile of bulk that I just bought, um, that ain't worth nothing no
It
more.
happens.
It
Right.
does a lot,
And
and
with
it's
it,
very common in Yu-Gi-Oh though.
yeah.
Like it's very common in Yu-Gi-Oh. Because like you said, the ban list stuff, it's like I was a very big fan of the last ban list, don't get me wrong. But like before that, dude, I mean, bro, I honestly haven't liked any ban list. Um, it just seems like they just don't do it right. And I think that the ban list are designed nowadays to manipulate the market. And
Which is to be expected.
yeah, but
But
it sucks for the players,
if
man.
if in One Piece my Gum Gum Giant got limited to one, I don't feel as bad because I spent what 25 cents on that card.
Which is awesome. That's why they're doing the rotation stuff. We might get another ban list in One Piece, or we might not. We don't know. But we get one ban list a year. And it's usually for really good reasons. Because if none of the cards were busted, Bandai would not give a ban list just to give a ban list. The thing about it is Yu-Gi-Oh players were so hyped on, I guess, the new story in Yu-Gi-Oh, the new hype in Yu-Gi-Oh, the next topic in Yu-Gi-Oh, that a ban list is always going to be a trending topic. And everybody's always excited to see what path Konami takes, because when we see these new cards, the Vanquish Souls, the stuff that's in this new set and everything, and we're like, this is definitely going to dominate the meta. We're going off of on the current format. We don't know if the ban list is going to bring back some of the old most busted decks. Because when they do that stuff, I get kind of hyped up. I ain't going to lie. Because like when Electromite, I mean, not Electromite, the Thunder Dragon, what is it called?
Oh, Colossus.
Yeah, when Colossus came back, everybody's like, why would you bring that back? That's terrible. That's bad for
It's
the
done
game.
nothing.
Nobody has played it. it's just funny that they brought it back because everybody's like, bring this card back, and nobody's playing it.
It's just crazy how fast that power creep has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, and I think everybody wants Electromite to come back, by the
Yeah.
way. And I think it should come back. That's fine.
Yeah, I think they just need a huge, and I hate to say ban list, but you can't reset the game without upsetting your player base as far as set rotation goes. However, you can do a huge ban list that makes pretty much every deck in the room unplayable and not upset a whole lot of the customer base.
Yeah, and I do like when Konami goes the route on let's give support to way older decks. I really like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Me, for example, they gave me 3 cards for my deck, the Madolche deck. I love that deck to death. I love playing it. It's just always been really fun playing that deck. And it was like, boom, here's 3 cards for it. Yes, thank you. Like, you know what I mean? But
They have too many decks.
yeah, there's just too many, and they're making more and more. Like it seems like every month, every other month, we're getting more and more and more and more. And they're not slowing down. It just, I just hope that with Yu-Gi-Oh moving forward, we're going into a new season. I really hope that we're not about to see a situation like we did the past 2 years, where shops are going to take another hit because they're trying to provide for the players.
Yeah, so many shops I remember during that time stopped carrying Yu-Gi-Oh because of how bad the situation got.
Yeah.
It's just sitting on the shelf.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player, and I would go into shops and say, "Hey, you got Yu-Gi-Oh?"
Just like we talked about with Pokemon, you buy a box, you're going to plus. With Yu-Gi-Oh, most of these sets that come out, the side sets are kind of the exception. I'm not going to lie. Most of these sets that come out, when you buy it, you're going to neg.
It's like It's like you just know.
Yeah.
It's not even gambling. You just know you're gonna lose.
Even the max rarity Starlights, because we're not on QCOs anymore, they're not worth.
And they're putting 3 of them in a case.
Yeah.
That's not a Starlight. You're giving us QCRs again and taking the 25 off of it.
Yeah.
That's not a Starlight. Alex, you know me, my friend. I was hunting these Starlights.
Yep.
When Pop.1 podcast was a thing, we was opening packs, baby. We was ripping them packs. I had cases on cases. You was bringing, I know. You was bringing cases over here and opening them on camera. Yeah,
that's cheap.
I thought you opened another case of something.
No,
I think it might have been 2 Megaton sets.
Yeah. Me and Tyler both had a case, and we did a Megaton case battle. It was cool.
I was Mr. How many did I get up to? 14?
Yeah.
Pulled Starlights. I was Mr. Starlight, baby. And I was, dude, there was those aren't even counting the Starlights I opened for people out of their boxes. I did that about 3 or 4 times over at Fantasy, opening packs with people and stuff and pulling the Starlight. But those were 1 in every 2 case cards. Those were the chase. And the chase was always the fun part of Yu-Gi-Oh to me. Because if there was a chase to be hit, and I'm not talking about a QCR where 3 of these boxes are going to have them. I don't like that. And I never like that. I like I like a real Starlight.
You like the chance. I remember during that time, there was a possibility you could pull a bunch of different cards and make $40 here, maybe a $10 there. And if you hit that Starlight, it'd be a couple $100 you made your plus. That was the fun of it. Now it's completely different in the sense that you may get the hit card, and the hit card's a $30 card.
Yeah. Which, and I'm not saying it's about the money. Don't get me wrong.
It's not.
But I actually had a collection of Starlights that I was opening myself. My favorite one of all time, and I will bring this set up when I talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably for the rest of my life, because it was probably the best time in my life with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was the most fun I ever had, and that was Power of the Elements, okay? And when they told me that my favorite fusion monster was going to be a Starlight in that set, let's go. The DPE, Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer.
You chased it.
Chased it, pulled it at the 1K Part 2, pulled it there, and then literally a few weeks later at Locals at Pandas, pulled another one. My favorite card.
And it was exciting because it was an expensive card.
Well, it was also a card that most of the people in the room thought they'd never see a day in their life, because that's how rare it is. Right. You want the rare stuff. When I'm opening a pack, I know that I'm probably not going to get this card, but at least give me that feeling that, ooh, I might hit something good today. Because that's the whole thing about opening packs. You can be a player and say, you're not supposed to like that. You're not supposed to be doing it for money and all this stuff. Dude, I hate to tell you, that's just going to be the reality of cards for the rest of your life. But that feeling, dude, when you pull that Starlight,
The
that
amount,
real
the amount of
Starlight.
times you're at Walmart, you see some packs on the shelf and you buy like
Yeah.
5. Many times on these different Facebook groups, you'll see people saying, "Oh, car pulls have been
Yeah.
great," and they pulled the chase card of the set,
Yeah.
which is, that is what's exciting about a bunch of these card
Oh,
games.
it feels so
You
good,
have
dude.
to have a financial investment into it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you don't want to have a financial investment to the point where you
No.
price out
And
so
and
many
you know,
players.
kind of while we're on the subject, I kind of want to like draw the line on like who you can call a scalper. Like that's one thing I've been seeing online, right? Like I'll see videos of like people videoing a guy in Target, and he'll have like 2 ETBs of Pokemon and like some
Which is
packs
the
and stuff.
max you can do.
Yeah, yeah, 2 per person at Target and stuff. And like the dude, like he'll get 2 of each thing, which isn't a bad thing. You just want to open some packs.
And they have plenty left after
Yeah,
him.
yeah. But he'll have his little hand cart full, and somebody will be recording like, look at this scalper. This dude's out here scalping and stuff. It's like, bro, that's not a scalper. A scalper is a guy that when you walk into Target and his cart's like already full and he's shoveling,
Yeah.
everything into the cart. That's a scalper. You know what I mean? And there are different levels of scalping, but majority of the time, when people are just buying packs and like if they buy more than the average kid, I guess, they're not necessarily a scalper. They might just have a little bit of money and they just want to open up some packs. It's I don't know, man. There's a line because people are using that word like very
Loosely.
yeah, man. Like it's just like you're not a scalper if you're buying 10 packs from Walmart. You know what I mean? Don't feel like you gotta like hide what you're buying and stuff and do all this weird stuff. It's getting kind of weird and out of hand, especially the people that want to start a fight over stuff like that too. It's like, hey man, why don't you save some for the kids? It's like, bro, I just picked up 10 packs. Like, is that big of a deal? Now, there are people that'll go there and, get backdoor stuff from employees or learn how to do certain things on how to get items and stuff. And the one thing about it is I know that it's hard to get these new items and stuff. And that's why I like to kind of help people and teach them how I kind of go about it. Um, you're not a scalper if you try to get something on release, right?
Right.
If you're trying to get something on Pokemon Center or the Nintendo Switch 2 that's out now, that's still very scarce in the United States. Like it's still hard to get one. Um, Sometimes you want to get things. If I really want something, I do the research and I talk to the friends that are into the same hobbies as me and everything like that. And I say, okay, guys, how are you guys getting this? Are you guys planning on getting it on release day? You gonna hold off a little bit and see if we can wait and find it in the wild, all stuff like that. But if it's a super hot item, like when Prismatic came out, everybody was really into that. It was hard to get on the Pokemon Center. So
Yep.
I was not able to get a Pokemon Center ETB because it got botted out. Now, for the Nintendo Switch 2, I was able to get that on release day. And I had a friend of mine that, and this is another thing that it's kind of playing with evil, a necessary evil type of thing. But I joined a Discord server that had like a bot that was posting the links every time they would go live. Now, I don't own a bot or program a bot or operate a bot to have my credit card information ready to go and start blasting 15 orders so I have 15 Switches come to the house. No, nothing like that. But I do take advantage of these Discord bots that will provide the links so I can get lucky and get the item that I want on release. And it was still very hard to do it. But I advise people to kind of really get in touch with your community and find people that like the same type of hobbies that you like. Because majority of the time they'll have some info on how you can still participate in the hobby that you guys both like, and not just be out of luck, and just not get it. The Labubu's, for example, that
Yeah,
is a very hard thing to get.
you
Well,
keep sending us posts of you on the Discord that you're in,
yeah,
where you get the notifications for the boo boos.
yeah. So it's
You
a
keep getting them.
Discord. They all of a sudden a bunch of links pop up and it says go go go, and
Go,
I
go,
go in
go.
there and get as many as I can for the Labubu's. I don't resell them or anything like that. My goal is to make sure my daughter has every single color that she would ever want. You know what I mean? It's a popular thing. I want my daughter to be able to be in she's young, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they like stuff like that. So
Additionally, how many times in the different like Facebook group chats, text message group chats, Discords that we're in, how often do we get message notifications? This Target has this product,
yeah,
Pokemon, One Piece, whatever.
yeah.
This Walmart, this that, this is the limits that they're having. How often is that happening for us? All the time.
Yeah, it got to a point during COVID that I had to go talk to these managers and stuff and let them know that, look, you guys will see me a lot coming to find cards and stuff like that. I'm a player, but I also know a lot of the players here, and they're in our Discord server and stuff like that. To where if you get like stuff in, you know what I mean? If you want to, no obligation. I'm not going to pay you any money. I'm not going to bribe you or anything like that. But if you want to, here's my phone number. Shoot me a text. Let me know what you got in, and I will send that to the community. And I will let the actual players know, and that way they'll know before the scalpers know.
Yep.
I do want our player base to have big involvement in One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff like that. So there's a few stores here, and these are mainline stores. I will not say the name of them. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I do have some managers that will send me text messages when they get stuff in, and I feel like it, and I don't have to, they send me the knowledge. I could just go blah, 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 but I wouldn't do that. It's my obligation to tell our people around here, hey, so-and-so's got this today. I heard that so-and-so is going to be having this today. Be early. Like,
And if anyone wants to join our Discord and post whatever region you're in, it doesn't have to be our specific region. You could post your region. You never know who's in the Discord. We have people from all over the nation
Yeah.
in there. If you want to hop in and let people know what has what, where has what, no
Yeah.
better place than our Discord.
Definitely. Yeah, and we're trying to get more of an outside realm into we do have a lot of people outside of our local scene, but we're trying to get a lot more in, so we'll have it in the description for you guys to join up. Any motivational quote you want to give the people before we get off today?
Just don't get discouraged and keep pushing forward.
All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out a lot. Like, comment, do all that. Let us know what you want to hear more of on the Pop.1 podcast.
Yep.
Also, go to our TikTok. It's all down in the description. You guys are going to love the content we put out there. We'll be up. We don't upload all the shorts here to YouTube, so be sure to go to the TikTok so you can see absolutely everything. That's kind of where a lot of our focus is right now. And then, yeah, follow all of our other socials. The Discord will be down below.
And check out Pop.1PodcastSubmissions at gmail.com. If you have any cool stories you want us to read, please send it there. We'll be more than happy.
We're kind of letting them build up so we can have a nice little section. Maybe on the next episode we'll have a few and talk about that. And then let's see, there was something else. Oh, make sure you go to duelingguard.com. Check them out. They got a lot of cool stuff, man. And then use code POP1 at checkout. Get a discount.
5% off.
5% off. But with that bundle deal, it's a little bit more.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace out, man.